In this lesson, we'll be talking about deferred payments or payments on a loan that start late. So, we know that if you are owing someone, you are supposed to pay them for the duration of the period in which you agreed to pay. And if you fail to pay by then, you'll be charged interest. So, let's say we have a number of months here. This one being T0. Let this one be T0. That is the time where you take the loan. And then the next ones will be the following months. So if I take the loan here at T0, which I can call it present value number 1. So let's call this one present value number 1. I'm supposed to pay after 1 month, right? At the start of the following month. But instead, I don't pay here. Let's say I choose to pay at T3. Well, what's going to happen? The person won't be happy that you didn't pay them where you are supposed to pay them, right? So instead, they will charge you interest for the number of months which you missed. So if I'm supposed to pay at T1 and then I pay at T3, now here I'm going to pay, okay? But then I missed 2 payments. I missed this one and then I missed this one. So the interest is going to be charged for these 2 months which I have missed. And then this one, let's call it where I'm going to pay. I must know the present value the month before, okay? So this one is present value number 2. This is the value of the loan after the 2 months, okay? So present value number 2 will be the present value number 1, which is the value of the loan after it has gained interest. So I'm just going to multiply that by 1 plus interest to the power of n, okay, when in this case n is 2 months. So present value number 1 is the loan which I take, right, and I have to pay at T1. But what we know is that when I'm making a payment at T1, I must know how much the loan worth the month before. So that's why whenever we are making payment at T1, we use present value for the month before, which is at T0. But now I'm making a payment on T number 3, which is after the 3rd month. So what happened? What happened is that I'm supposed to know how much the value of the loan is the month before, which is at T2. That's why we compound the money up until T2 instead of taking it here. Okay. So this formula is a formula for interest or inflation, right? So when you see a positive sign and an exponent, it's a compound interest. Why are we using the compound interest formula? It's because the loan was given to you and they say to you must start paying installments at T1. But then instead you chose to skip the first 2 months and then you started paying at T3. So what happens is they will charge you for the month which you have missed. You have missed the 1st month and the 2nd month, and they will take that loan, which will be the initial amount, and then they will compound it for the number of months which you have missed, or the number of period which you have missed, depending on whether you're working with months or quarters. So because now we're working with months, I have missed the 1st month as well as the 2nd month, and they will charge me interest for the 2 months which I have missed. So in this case, the n will be 2. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. I'm starting to make payment at T3. I have to know the value of the loan at T2. Similarly, if maybe we had a different case, suppose now the payment are supposed to be made like this. So this one is T0, and let this be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I take a loan at T0, which is here. I can call it present value number 1. So it's the value of the loan, right? So when am I supposed to start making a payment? I'm supposed to start making a payment at T1, but then I choose to skip the 1st month or the other months, and then I make a payment at T number 6, which is June, right? Month number 6, which is June. So what happens is that this is where I start paying. So I start paying, but then I'm not supposed to start paying here. I'm supposed to start paying at T1. So because I'm making a payment at T6, I must know the present value at T5. So I must know the present value the month before the month that I make a payment. Okay, so this will be present value number 2. So this means that how many months have I missed? Well, I'm gonna compound this present value number 1 to the first month, the second month, the third month, the fourth month, right? And then the fifth month as well, because that's when I want the money. Okay, so I missed the first payment, the second payment, the fourth payment. Okay, I missed the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I missed 5 payments. Okay, so when they charge me, the interest will increase. So the present value number 2, which will be the value of the loan at that time, is no longer the one that I took. So this will be present value number 1 multiplied by 1 plus the interest rate. In this case, I missed 5 months. And then now this one will give me the present value number 2, how much the loan is worthing now at present value number 2. And then the amount that I get here is the one that I will use in the formula for PV is equal to X multiplied by 1 minus 1 plus the interest to the power of negative n divided by I. So in other words, the present value which I'm going to use here, which is the value of the loan, I won't use the value of the loan that I took because I skipped months without paying. So the new present value will be the present value number 2. So this amount is the one which I will replace here, and then I solve for X or anything that is required for me to solve. So I hope that makes sense to everyone, and thank you for watching.